Hey guys, this video is for our 2nd through 4th grade team for December week 1. It's December, it's so exciting, such a great time to be working in kids ministry. Lots of fun stuff going on and talking about. So this month, the Big Give is our theme, and our life app for the month is generosity, making someone's day by giving something away. So this week, our story comes from 1st John 4:9, and it's all about how God gave us Jesus. And our bottom line is, because God gave, I can give. And our memory verse for the month is from 1 Timothy 6:18, and it says, "Command the rich to do what is good. Tell them to be rich in good things. They must give freely. They must be willing to share." So jumping into our activities for this week, I retitled this first section, Prepare. Hopefully, if you watch the training video, it talked about just being prepared and a few things that we can do to be prepared when we come in. So first of all, watching this video each week, then thinking through what's going to work for my group. You know, if your group is big, if it's a smaller group, girls versus boys, what you need to do. And then one of the other things we talked about was just to pray. So make sure that you take a few minutes to pray for your kids. Remember, they need our prayers, and it's good for us to be praying for them. So just pray that this season, when a lot of times it's all about what are they going to get, it's me, that your small group would see the importance of generosity. And just thank God for giving us Jesus and giving us that spirit of generosity as Christ followers. So then as kids start to roll in at 8:40 and 10:40, as kids join your circle, make sure you ask about their week and get to know their names. And then make sure that any new students, you help them to feel as welcome as possible. So introduce them to the other kids, really make them feel important that day. So then some icebreaker questions. You can talk to kids about how good it feels to give a gift that someone really loves. And ask kids what gift they would give if they could give anything. So what's something really special they would buy? If they could make something really cool, what would they make? What's something they would do as a gift for someone if they could? So then the first activity is called What's That? And I also started this month putting in what do you need for the activity. So what you'll need for the activity is the What's That activity page and then some markers for your group. So that activity page looks like this. It says down at the bottom, What's That? And here's what you're going to do. You're going to give each kid an activity page and have them look at the pictures of the wrapped packages and have them imagine what might be inside each one. And then in the little boxes that are next to the pictures, kids can draw a picture of what they think is inside, or they can write what they think is inside, and just encourage them to be kind of silly. And it could be things that don't really exist. So just have them look through and, a piece of cheese, a piece of pizza, whatever it might be. Just have them get silly with what that might be. So then to close out activity, you're going to say, wow, you guys were really creative with what you imagined was in those boxes. And today in large group, we're going to hear about a gift that God gave us that wasn't what people expected, but it was even better. So then when you go down to large group, guys, this is so important, especially for our 2nd through 4th graders. Please make sure as small group leaders that you are sitting with them, that you're engaging with them, that you're worshiping with them. They're looking to you as their example, so make sure you're not just, standing in the back, but that you're really sitting with your small group and being part of that large group with them. When you come back in the classroom, your review activity is called Pass It That Way. So all you're going to need is the Pass It That Way activity page, which is in the front of your folder. And then you're going to have a wrapped box of candy. So your cart will have 2 wrapped boxes. There's one for each service. So first service, make sure you only use one of those. So what you're going to do is you're going to have your kids sit in a circle on the floor, and you'll give the box to one of the kids, and then you're going to read the activity page, and the kids are going to follow the instructions. And they'll pass the gift to the right when you say right, and then to the left when you say left. And so the last kid that has the present, they're going to open it up, and then there'll be candy inside the box, so every kid can get a piece of candy. So you may have seen one of these stories before. It just has the words left and right in it. So by the end, you don't know who's going to have it. So it's just a story, a Christmas story, using that. So then you'll close by saying, so that game was pretty fun, huh? Especially because everybody ended up with the gift in the end. And the most important thing about the Christmas season is to remember that God gave the gift of his son to everybody. He came so that everybody who would ever live on earth could know him. And God gave us the biggest gift of all because God gave, I can give. We don't have to give presents to everybody we know, but we can tell everyone about the best gift ever, Jesus. And then make it personal. Tell kids about how you keep Jesus in the front of your mind during Christmas time. Among all the gift giving, just remind them why this season is really important and who it's really about. So then your memory verse activity, what you're going to need is a Bible and then some toy coins, which you're going to have in a little baggie on your cart. Just make sure kids cannot take these toy coins home this week because we need them again for next week. So make sure that you collect those back. So what you're going to do is you're going to look up 1 Timothy 6:18 and read it together as a group. I'm sorry, I've been asking for NIRV Bibles so that it matches your memory verse, and I just haven't gotten them yet. So you guys can tell Tom and Herc when you see them that we want NIRV Bibles. So then split your kids up into groups. This says 4 groups. Obviously, based on the size of your group, you can split them up into 2 groups, whatever it might be. And then you'll give each group a few coins to use as props, so they can use them, they can not use them. It just kind of gives the sentiment of the verse. And then you're going to give each group a sentence of the verse and have them work together to come up with actions. So depending on how big your group is, you're going to give them these little cards, and you might say, okay, the first group you're going to do this part, and the second group you're going to do this part. Or if you've got 4 groups, you can give them each a sentence. It just depends on what you're going to have that Sunday morning. So that's another part of that preparing, just thinking about what you're going to do for that part. So then have the groups sit in order based on which sentence they had, and teach their sentence and their actions to the rest of the group, and then just practice saying the group with the actions that they had. So they might incorporate those coins as part of their actions. So then to close down, you're just going to say, so guys, sometimes it seems like God gives some people a lot of things like money and nice houses and better cars or toys than he gives to other people. But he tells us that the people he has given more to should be the ones who share more of what they've been given to others. God equally gave everyone the most wonderful gift of all, and that's Jesus. So because God gave, I can give. And God's example shows us that whether we have a little or we have a lot, we should give some of what we have to help others. And we're going to continue Be Rich in December for Oakbridge kids. We've reached $300 of our goal, so tell kids keep being generous, bringing in that money for our Be Rich campaign. Then another new thing this month is I added in optional small group discussion questions. So for some of you, for some of the guy groups, the activities might not work. Maybe you grab a ball from the sensory room and you pass the ball around your circle and you do some of these questions. So this is going to be another big part of you preparing, looking over these questions and saying, instead of an activity or after an activity, do I want to ask any of these questions where we just sit in a circle and we just talk? Especially for our 4th graders and maybe even 3rd graders, this might be better than doing an activity. So there's all these optional discussion questions that you're going to start getting each week. So look through those. Think about if you want to ask any of those to your group. I definitely wouldn't recommend doing all of them, but maybe 1 or 2, okay? And then to close for prayer, you don't need anything. You're just going to ask kids, what do you guys think the word generosity means? And then tell them that that's making someone's day by giving something away. And ask your group to think about someone who they know that's very generous. And then let kids hold their hands out like they're offering something to someone as you pray. So then here's a prayer that you can say, or you can obviously always say your own. And then just make sure you're passing out parent cues this week as parents come to get their kids. And ask kids to tell their parents about the best gift that anyone ever gave them as they're picking up. So that's it for this week, guys. Thank you so much for leading. This 2nd through 4th grade age group is just exploding. It's so exciting to see what's going on down in this end of the hallway. Thank you guys so much for being small group leaders and really being invested in what you do. I saw all the views on the training video, which made me so excited that we can become better small group leaders together. So thank you guys so much for serving, and I'll see you on Sunday.